Both of these series are based on a comic book superhero created in the 1970s. The main character is a black hero that protects his neighborhood from evil. He's no normal vigilante. He's able to strike fear into evil villains' hearts because of his superpowers. Jefferson Pierce, aka Black Lightning, got his powers when he was a little boy. Carl Lucas, aka Luke Cage, got his powers during his adult years. Luke Cage is bulletproof and virtually indestructible. Black Lightning ain't about that life. However, he may not be bulletproof, but the people he uses as a shield basically make him just as untouchable as Luke Cage. His suit could ricochet bullets as well, and allows him to focus his energy to fly too. Since Luke Cage's skin is impenetrable, he's cocky, and that's probably why he doesn't train, which explains why his fight game is so trash. Black Lightning's fighting sequences are more intense, and it's because he trains hard, so he doesn't have to use his powers 100% of the time. The women in both series are fine. It's mind-boggling how any man would find time to fight evil when it's so easy to get distracted by the females in the cast. When the lady in the blue dress throws herself at Pierce, he's all like, no thank you, because he has to focus on being the hero his city deserves. When the lady in the blue dress throws herself at Cage, he wastes no time and takes her back to his place. The good thing is that not only do the female leads have beauty, but they have muscle too. The pretty lady the hero slept with is liable to put a hole in your chest if you come at her incorrectly, and the dime piece in the show could probably kill a man with her bare hands. With a majority black cast, the series isn't only focused on showing diversity through race, but provides representation for the LGBTQ community also. Even with the colorful, diverse cast, discrimination is a common thread for each episode in season 1. Tension is at an all-time high because the cops are treating the young men in the city like a piñata. Warner Brothers makes a statement about the shootings of unarmed black men by white officers in this show. ABC owns Disney, and they typically tiptoe around the subject, which is why all the police brutality scenes against young men are done by black cops instead of white officers. This may be a coincidence, but I doubt it because of the protest scenes. The protesters in Black Lightning are model citizens, while the protesters in Luke Cage are gangsters, which implies only hoodlums exercise their right to protest peacefully. With corrupt law enforcement patrolling the city, the villains take over and have ties in every local organization. For example, the bad guy works closely with the local undertaker to dispose of dead bodies and erase all traces of the murders they perform. The bad guys in the show are relatives and keep it all in the family like the mafia. One of the relatives is deep in the streets while the other has a political background. The evil man is haunted by his childhood. His flashbacks show that he never got over his traumatic experience. The difference is, Cottonmouth will never get over his trauma since he killed his father figure as a little boy. Over here, as a little boy, Tobias never stood up to his father figure, but he gets over his trauma in Black Lightning by killing him when he's an adult. The protagonist of the series is having flashback horrors too. His flashbacks are about his daddy issues. The dream sequence shows the main character as a kid, but it gets weird when his present day self shows up. Black Lightning is suffering from daddy issues because the secret his father kept led to his death. The secret Luke Cage's father kept led to the life of his half-brother. The ruthless bad guy shows no mercy. He tortures his employees. Over here, the henchmen are scared to death because he kills the employee that steps out of line. Over here, the henchman thinks it's kind of funny because it's obvious the gangster was just playing. The hero and the bad guys cross paths at the gangsters club. The criminals own a night spot, and the club gets lots of attention from the community because the gangster selects the best acts to go on stage every Friday and Saturday. But in the back rooms, that's where they organize their evil plans. Any self-respecting man wouldn't be caught dead in a joint like that, except Luke Cage. His moral compass is all out of whack because he gets a job there to make ends meet. Pierce earns an honest living working as the principal at Garfield High School. What you do for a paycheck could sometimes determine the respect you receive from the neighborhood. Ironically, the neighborhood respects Luke Cage more for his ties to the crime lord, and when he gives speeches, they're locked in like it's prime time. In Black Lightning, it's usually religious leaders that give speeches to motivate the community. Whenever Pierce opens his mouth, he gets booed like he's performing at the Apollo. The people start pressuring the main character to become a vigilante. It sounds just like an Everest commercial.
You're sitting on the couch, you're watching TV, and your life is passing you by. You keep procrastinating over and over.
Since both of the characters are well known in their towns, they develop an alter ego to fight crime. Pierce becomes Black Lightning. He uses his powers to mask his face and voice, so you can't tell it's him.
When you try and look at his face, it hurts. I don't know, it's like looking into a spotlight.
Luke Cage almost does the same thing, but he just uses a hoodie. Thunder did this in her show until she realized it's the dumbest idea in the world, and common sense made her find a different costume. The criticism from the people gets to the main character. He develops a heart for the youth. One time, there's this troubled teen that's about to throw his life away. The main character finds out he's staying at this beat down hotel and meets him there to try to talk some sense into him. To be honest, after their talk, the kid dies. So basically, the hero made the situation worse. But the point is that he tried, and that's all that matters. The city's crime rates are higher than the crackhead, and the hero says enough is enough. He starts targeting the bad guys' places of business. He barges into the crack house and starts dropping dudes left and right. He also does the same thing at their club. First, he kills the power to the building, and it's low-key funny because you can't see a black hero in the dark, so it's the perfect camouflage for him. Bullets start flying, and when the dust settles, he's the only one standing. His random acts of kindness start inspiring the black people in the community. There's a protest rally organized by a community leader. When the bad guy shows up, instead of being a symbol for hope, he's a target for death. The gunmen shoot up the protest like da-da-da-da-dat, 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 and lots of innocent people are caught in the crossfire. His vigilante adventures causes the gangs to lose a lot of money. Since they can't fight him, they frame him instead. Both him and his alter ego are wanted for felonies. Pierce is wanted for drug possession and he's innocent. And Black Lightning is wanted for murder and he's innocent too. Luke Cage is wanted for murder and he's innocent. Carl Lucas is wanted for escaping prison and guilty as charged. He gets no respect in the big house. His first day, they give him a cavity search and his manhood is thrown into the garbage. The most serious charge is the murder case. The bad guy used a weapon that replicates the hero's power, so the dead body looks like it's the result of the hero's superpowers. Once the plan works and the good guy stops patrolling the streets, the criminals flood the market with tech that levels the playing field by making regular people strong enough to face the superhero head to head. In Luke Cage, the equalizer comes in the form of the Judas Bullet. In Black Lightning, they use a drug called Green Light. If the users use any of these, they're able to match up against the good guy. The hero gets a low-level thug to snitch, and the snitch tells him everything he knows about the gangster's operations. He then gives the information to the black cop. The black cop in this show trusts him, so when he gets arrested, the officer knows the charges are bogus and tries to get him out. The black cop in this show is Foyne, but she's also an idiot and wants him behind bars just as much as the bad guys.
Take his to jail.
She's a poor judge of character with her fellow officers too. Misty was partners with the dirty cop, and when there's mounting evidence proving he's corrupt, all the other cops on the force believe it except her. It's the other way around here because Henderson is the only one that thinks the deputy is corrupt, while the other officers don't suspect a thing. The hero gets overconfident like the Golden State Warriors. A thug pulls up on him and almost takes him out. He starts losing his powers. His DNA is all jacked up, but he can't just go into a regular hospital. His old lady is the only one that could take a look at him. The neuroscientist has all this high-tech equipment and she still can't figure out what's going on. All the night nurse needs is a middle school microscope and she knows exactly what time it is.
Your epithelial cells are simultaneously superelastic and energy absorbent.
The medical lab gets compromised and a gunman tries to take a woman as a hostage. Thickums tries to stop him, but fails miserably. She gets knocked out by the gunman on this show, and on this show, she gets knocked out by her daddy. They take the main character to the white man who's partly responsible for giving the hero his powers. I'm not exactly sure he knows what he's doing, but it really doesn't matter at this point. The hero starts to have a cardiac arrest, and they have to shock him before he dies because that would be extremely awkward since there's a couple of more episodes left to go. He gets his powers back, and a showdown takes place at the main character's job. The bad guy gives him that work, but in this TV show, the villain's cheap because they had to jump Black Lightning. Diamondback doesn't even have powers and still give Luke them hands with no help. And those are 24 reasons these are different. So truth or dare, like and share, leave a comment under there. If you don't, that's not fair. This thing took a week to prepare. But I'm not a rapper though.
Best elevator music I've ever heard.